Welcome to Football Daily, the home of football on YouTube. Featuring top 10, Football Daily Weekly, versus transfer talk and much more every week. Subscribe now for the latest headlines, exclusive interviews and editorial features from the world of football. Liverpool news. Lazar Markovic makes right sort of impression for Brendan Rodgers' side at Sunderland. Summer signings starting to show promise as Liverpool rediscover their form. Liverpool are back. Not back to their peak, perhaps, although the last time Liverpool could call themselves the champions of England was almost a quarter of a century ago, but they are back to something like the best they have been under Brendan Rodgers. Too many points have been lost, and too much ground conceded during air malaise since the departure of Luis Suarez for Liverpool to be part of the title race. That ambition remains unfulfilled, yet there is much still for which to play. The Capital One Cup semi-final against Chelsea, the FA Cup campaign and the one worth the most money, the top for finish and access to the Champions League pot of gold. Rodgers is on firm ground again, and he can argue with some validity that the best is yet to come from his side. The summer signings are starting to settle, and the performances of Lazar Markovic, in particular, are more than just encouraging. The Serbian, 20, cost £20 million from Benfica, but his only previous headline-grabbing moment came when sent off for poking a Bell player in the eye in a vital Champions League group game. Not anymore. Markovic's powerful running, intelligent use of the ball and his first Premier League goal, finishing well after a razor-sharp passing move, were all highlights of Liverpool's win here. It is nothing that we haven't seen before because he is a top young talent, Rodgers said. It shows what a difficult league this is for any player to come in, let alone a very young player. Then add the fact that he is coming to one of the biggest clubs in the world. So it takes time, but a lot of our young players are starting to bed into our philosophy and the way we play. You will see them develop and come on a lot in the next 6 months. He has been pretty consistent. I had a chat with him a while ago about his aggression and he got sent off in the next game. But I want him to be aggressive with and without the ball. He is a talent. This was a game in which Liverpool would have dropped points before Christmas because Sunderland are doggedly difficult opponents. They have a poor record at home, and their manager, Gus Poyet, betrayed more than a hint of exasperation with his players after this defeat, but they are a difficult side to beat nonetheless. Their problem is a lack of goals, and with Stephen Fletcher absent through injury, the Black Cats were both blunt and unimaginative in the final third. Poyet is desperate for a new striker in this transfer window, although he must also take some of the blame. His five-man midfield gives Sunderland resilience, but because of it, they rarely attack in vast numbers, and with Connor Wickham unable to hold the ball up at all against Liverpool, they made things far too easy for a suspect defence with a shaky goalkeeper, their former number 1, Simon Mignolet, behind it. The closest they came to an equalizer came when they were down to 10 men following Liam Bridcut's sending off for a second bookable offence. Adam Johnson's ferociously swerving shot beating Mignolet, but not the crossbar. Poyet was annoyed, but as he pointed out in mitigation, Sunderland are used to these sorts of problems at this stage of the season. It is why even their current manager harks back to the era which brought to top 6 finishes. The characteristics of the Kevin Phillips and Neil Quinn side was they were in people's faces, Poyet said. The rest of the teams of Sunderland did not have any characteristics. They were rubbish. They were playing for relegation and suffering. I am trying something, but we are miles away to a point that it worries me a little bit.